So in this video, I wanted to take a quick look at the Uni-ball 207 mechanical pencil. You're probably familiar with the Uni-ball 207 because they are some really popular gel pens. And then that was later, not replaced with, but upgraded by, I guess you might want to say, the Uni-ball 307. But there was never a pencil in the line, and I guess now there is. I saw this recently. It's available on Amazon and a few other places. And I think it just went on sale in August 2020 or so. I haven't seen it available too widely. But anyway, it is the late coming mechanical pencil version of the 207. And you could see that it really follows the design of the 207 closely. So I bought this kit here. It includes 2 pencils, 1 set of replacement lead or additional lead, and then 2 erasers. The kit was, I'll say like maybe $8, maybe $10, right around there. So not super cheap, but not exactly gonna break the bank. And the colors are not, it's not a red pencil or a blue pencil. It's just a normal pencil. They just happen to be red and blue. Anyway, so let's get into it. As you can see, it looks exactly like the 207. And what do I mean by that? We see it has the plastic front piece of the 207 with these little cutout pieces that's straight out of the original. It has the sneaker grip from the original 207 with these sort of raised rubber little circles or ellipses, I guess. It has a translucent body, in this case red and blue. It doesn't come in the gray or like the smoke of the original one, but it does have the translucent body. And then we have the metal clip that's split in the middle, the 2-piece, it's not 2-piece, but 2 component or 2 sides, I guess, metal clip with the plastic insert in the middle. And this is metal, whereas the front piece looks like metal, but it's actually plastic. This is actually metal. This piece is plastic. And then it is kind of strange at the top, and it looks to be missing a part because it has a raw eraser. A lot of mechanical pencils, especially ones from, I'd say a little bit nicer ones, won't have the eraser sticking out. There'll be a little cap or something on top of it, a cover. This one doesn't have that. Instead, you have the little hexagonal eraser sticking out. It's a little hard to see the white on white, but it's a hexagonal eraser, and it twists to extend, which is pretty cool. And then when you push it, it doesn't go in or out, so you have to twist it to extend it. Standard click or knock type pencil, nothing weird there. The pipe does hide, so you push it out once, and that'll extend the lead and also extend the pipe. I don't know if I would really call it a double knock because the knock action and the click action are the same, but it will be hidden when you are transporting it or not using it. See if I can get the focus to work. Sorry about that. It'll be hidden, push it, and then it'll extend. So right now, I think it's only sold in a 0.7 millimeter. I'm sure it'll be sold in a 0.5 as well. I just couldn't find it. I can only find it in the 0.7 so far. So that's sort of the basics of it. Let's look at the packaging really quickly. So here it is, Uni-ball 207 mechanical pencil, break resistant, shock absorbing point, which we'll get into in a second, 10 leads, 2 erasers, 2 with 0.7 millimeter HB number 2 lead, 2 pencils, and then it has an auto advance lead system, which we'll talk about in a minute, hexagonal twist eraser, as we saw. So this is the perfect complement to the classic 207 gel pen series. It's funny, what they don't mention is that the 207 has been out for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that, and now they're finally coming out with a pencil. It's pretty crazy. It took so long, but better late than never. And then that's it. It's a U.S. product, so it's sold by Uni-ball as opposed to Uni-ball Mitsubishi, Uni-Mitsubishi, which is the parent company. Okay, so now we have the pencil here. Let's look at how some of the parts work. At the top, we have the eraser. You twist it to extend it. The eraser can come out and be replaced. It's a good size eraser, although it's thin, right? So you have to, well, you'll go through it pretty quickly. To refill the lead, you pull this piece out, and now we could see the eraser component. Basically, when this twists, it will extend. The eraser twists with the bottom part. This part stays static. There's no lead or anything in here, just the eraser housing. It's a similar mechanism to what Zebra uses with the Del Guard. The lead goes in here. It's actually a really large aperture, but the lead does go in there. You push it in, it'll kind of lock in place like that, and then it's all good. The front piece, as you would expect, does come off. You just give it a twist. It's a little firm when you first get it, but it does come out. And we can see here, we have sort of a hidden sleeve here, and that's how that auto lead advance system works. And then you can slide. I don't think it wants to come out all the way, but you can slide it out a little bit, and I think I had it coming out before. Maybe not. Anyway, it's not an easy pencil to work on necessarily. This isn't a high-end, replace a component type metal pencil. It's about a $5 plastic pencil that works well, and you can see there is some metal in there, but it's not something you're gonna be like really taking apart and replacing parts or anything like that. So we're done looking at the internals, but now I wanted to talk through how the auto advance lead system works. And it's pretty simple. What happens is you have a sliding pipe here. This pipe can get pushed in, but it's spring loaded. So as it gets pushed in, and it comes back out, it grabs the piece of lead and pushes it out with it. So let's see how we would start writing. You would start like this. The piece of lead would go down, and eventually it would be very short like that, right? Basically no lead would be exposed. And then you would push down as you continue to write. The pipe would push down, and as it sprung back, a piece of lead is going to get grabbed and then exposed with the pipe. So basically there was no lead left. The pipe got pushed in a little bit, but more lead came out. Let's see that again. So you're writing here. This is like as far out as you go with a 0.7 millimeter. Eventually this goes down. There's basically nothing left at this point. You put the pencil down on the paper to do your next letter. You push down a little bit, and slightly more lead comes out. Part of that is because the pipe gets pushed down, so it's essentially like more lead is out, but also it has that spring action to it. And we'll see. So basically here we have no lead at all. We'll push down, and some lead is exposed, and the pipe goes in. It's a pretty simple mechanism, but it works really well. Eventually, you run out of lead and you run out of pipe, and you're going to want to give it a click. But in practice, it works better than you would think. Okay, so we'll start writing right now. You can see basically no lead is extended, but we'll just mimic what would happen with the auto advance, and we'll get going. Okay, so this is the Uni-ball 207 MP, and you could see at this point the pipe has slid in and some lead went out. Eventually I'll run out of pipe as I write, and I'll want to push the button again, but the lead will stay consistent. You could eventually reboot the process, put out the pipe and some lead like that. And at this point, you won't really have to do too much pushing with that top piece. It will stay fairly consistent as long as you remember every once in a while you need to give it a little push. And just as you're writing, it doesn't work as well when you're doing continual strokes like that, but as you're writing and you're pushing it in and just by lifting up and doing your letters, you'll keep that bouncing there, and the pipe will be sliding out more lead as you need it. It works fairly well. So I think that should wrap it up for the Uni-ball 207 mechanical pencil. If you like Uni-ball 207 and you want something matching, this is really nice. Just holding it, I've always liked how the Uni-ball 207 feels in my hand. I like the grip a lot. I like the aesthetics of it, even though it's sort of dated at this point. But kind of, I don't know, it's just a nice pencil. It's comfortable to use. And I think I mainly like it because it reminds me of the 207, which I used for so long and really liked for so long. But it does the job nicely, and it's on the cheaper side and has the auto advance system for continuous writing, which is quite nice. It has a little bit of spring bounce with that shock absorbing point. That reminds me a little bit of the Zebra Delgard, which some people like, some people don't. It will help with your braking a little bit. It'll prevent breakages. Not that that's too much of a problem with a 0.7mm pencil, but it'll help a little bit. So for about $5 per pencil, you get auto advance and you get the shock absorbing system. So pretty good deal. Nice to see some technology coming in to not only a lower end pencil, but also one with the 207 branding, which is pretty cool because the 207 remains a really nice gel pen. Thanks for watching.